Emotions, I can top them for you. Pull up to my spot and
Hey y'all, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl, the Healthy Virgin, aka Amber Nash, and I'm here to let you guys know how I lost 80 pounds in about 5 months. All it takes is healthy eating, no exercise required. I get so many questions every day of people asking me what surgery I had, what is it that I eat, what supplements, what protein powders, all this stuff that I don't really know anything about. All I did was cooked, I ate fruits and vegetables, and I started to change my relationship with food, and I'm going to let you guys know 11 tips on how I did it.
are you excited? Do you feel it? Are you ready, babe? I'll help you kill the things that you can't eat.
Alright guys, so before we get into all this good stuff over here, I just want to tell you guys about why I started my journey and what made me kind of make this commitment to live a better lifestyle. So it started back in August of 2020. I was basically going through a new transition. I had a roommate at the time, and I was basically about to go into living on my own, which I hadn't done for about 2 years. And I just really wanted to change my lifestyle. I was going into a new place. I wanted to change the person that I was and just basically just have something to do. I was losing a friend that I had. I didn't have any friends where I was at, so I'm like, you know what, this is the even more perfect time to just do everything that I want to do. And the main thing was to be healthier, to live a better lifestyle, and to be happy when I take my clothes off and I look at myself in the mirror. So the first thing that I did that I never did any amount of time when I ever went into new diets or exercise or anything like that, this time I did incorporate my religion into my process. And all I did was I just talked to God. I was like, God, please help me stay committed. Please help me stay focused, because I know that the largest part of anything that you do is making a commitment to it. So once I had that conversation with God, I also talked to him about how I wanted him to guide my footsteps and to just allow me a focused mind to maintain what I wanted to do. So I started with that, and the main things that I first started taking out of my diet were my favorite foods. I chose 3 of my favorite things I love the most, and I decided to take that out of my diet, and that was milk and cereal.
He needs some milk.
I love milk and cereal. I'm an avid smoker, so I love being high and going to eat a big bowl of cereal, and I'm like super fat with it. Eat up all the cereal, then get more cereal, add some more milk, and then once that's done, then if I'm not hungry, then I might not get a 3rd bowl. But I love milk and cereal, so that was the hardest thing for me to get rid of. Then I took pasta out of my diet. So I was a big pasta eater. Anytime I go out, I'm like Cajun pasta me, linguine, grilled shrimp caprese, I don't know, any type of pasta you could think of, I was ordering it. So I went ahead and took that out of my diet too. And then lastly, bread. I started basically subbing all of my breaded items with lettuce. I just kind of went full throttle and just kind of went rogue and just completely took all of that out of my diet. It was no oh, a little bit here, a little bit there. No, I just went ahead and just said I wasn't going to eat this anymore. But I still ate plenty of the things that I still love. So that was kind of just my beginning journey, and in another video I'll get more into kind of my transition. This video is definitely about 11 tips to rapid weight loss, but I did want to let y'all know a little bit about me, so we'll go ahead and get into that. So the first step here, and again, these aren't really in any particular order, they're all just as important as the other, but I just labeled them this way. That number 1 again is educate yourself on nutrition, and that is because how can you do anything if you don't know anything about it? You cannot go anywhere, go purchase anything, can't go do anything where you don't know anything about it. And even if you do, you still have to learn after the fact. So the best thing to do is, if you are going into a new wellness journey, a new lifestyle journey, is educate yourself on what exactly you're trying to do. I looked at my body in the mirror, and my biggest area that I didn't like was my stomach. So all the information that I looked for was how to get rid of stubborn belly fat. What are the foods that I can eat that target belly fat loss? What are the foods that I can eat that are gonna be bloat defying foods? I just try to educate myself on enough nutrition so that I could make good decisions. My next my next step here is starting in your day with H2O. So we all know water is super important. Water is super important for your skin, your body, everything. You know, water literally helps the world go around. But I always say starting in your day with water. I didn't drink a lot of like fruit juices. I definitely cut soda out of my diet completely, but I definitely try to drink as much water as possible. One of the main reasons being is that as long as you're drinking water, you know, your body is being nourished and is constantly just helping your bowels move. You know, it's helping that food that's sitting on your stomach. It's just basically helping that process, that cycling process. So that's why I always say starting in your day with water. Set realistic goals for yourself is number 3. So I always try to make sure that I was not going to set goals to where I could be disappointed. So I wouldn't tell myself like I want to lose 10 pounds in a week, because I know that that isn't realistic. So for me, it was just basically, okay, maybe I can do 2 pounds this week. You know, maybe I'm 250 right now, but you know, by the end of the week I want to be about 247. So they were small goals that I would create for myself that I found it was a lot easier to reach. So each time I hit one of those goals, it made me feel so good about myself. And then, you know, it allows you to make more mini goals instead of just having these long goals and not being able to accomplish them or feeling like they're so far off. So definitely set realistic goals for yourself. The 4th one that I have here is to set a sleep schedule. I know it is so hard, especially if you're like me. You love to be on Instagram. You love to be on Twitter, Facebook, wee hours in the morning. And especially with what I do graphic design. I work for myself. So at any point in time, I'm up and inspired to work. So setting a sleep schedule is something that is extremely important for your body when trying to lose weight. Just consistency with everything that you do. So I always try to make sure I was in bed by about 10 p.m. every day. It's my body getting used to getting that 8-hour rest, and also, you know, knowing, hey, this is a regular thing that we're doing. We're going to wake up at a certain time. We're just going to follow a schedule. You know, writing things down, just being organized in anything that you're doing is going to help you lose weight, especially setting that sleep schedule, because sleeping is so important to weight loss. The 5th thing I have here is greens with every single meal. So this is something that helps me. So anytime I eat a meal, I want to make sure I include something that's going to make me go to the bathroom, because as long as I'm going to the bathroom, I know that my food is moving out of my body, and I know that I'm digesting as much as I should be. So I will tell anybody at any time, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian. I can only tell you the things that work for me. And one of those things was making sure I included a green in every meal. So if I did a smoothie in the morning, I would also include spinach or kale. If I do lunch, I would eat something like, maybe I'll have fish, but I want to eat spinach on the side, or asparagus sauteed, or maybe broccoli, and maybe the same thing for lunch. So just always including something green, something nutritious, and something that's going to help those bowels move. My next one here is eat on a schedule. So same as sleeping. I found that it helped me because, you know, I would look at the time. I would say, oh, it's between, you know, let's say 12 and 2. I know it's time for maybe like my second meal by this time, or my 3rd meal. So I'm eating on this schedule. My body is regularly knowing what I'm eating. It's able to burn. It's able to just basically get in a habit of knowing here's this meal. I'm not having to go into this starvation mode, and you know, the food is regularly coming, and then I'm cutting off at a certain point too, because I'm not wanting to allow food to be on my stomach or be heavy right before I go to sleep. So eating on a schedule is super important, just as much as sleeping on a schedule. Number 7, be inspired but don't compare. It's so many people's journeys that I've watched just throughout the years, even before my own transformation, and I've always kind of been super hard on myself just because I'm like, dang, like, well, I don't look like them, like they only did this for this. And do not beat yourself up, because your body is no one else's body. Anything that you do, you have to cater it to you. You know, what works for me may not work for you, but it's all about trying and just basically staying consistent and doing the things that you love, and finding ways to do the things that you love that can impact your wellness and your fitness journey. The next thing I have here is get to know your body. So just throughout my transformation process, I feel like I've gotten to know myself so much more. I see how my body, you know, reacts to certain foods that I eat, to certain products that I use. So more than anything, just get to know yourself. Listen to your body, listen to what it tells you, listen, you know, to when, you know, the peak times you're hungry, you know, different things like that. Definitely just get to know your body, because the more you know about yourself, the more you're able to educate yourself so that you can start to implement things that can help you in your journey. The next thing I have is staying consistent. I know I've been saying that throughout the entire video, but it's super important to stay consistent. Like I said, in anything that you do, you have to wake up every single morning and make that conscious decision that you are going to eat healthy, you are going to be disciplined, and you have a goal in mind. And the next thing here is full meals opposed to snacking. This really has been my lifesaver out of all of the tips, because sometimes it's so much easier to grab a bag of chips and a soda, and there you go, 400 calories that fast. When you could have, like, you know, made a veggie burger wrapped in lettuce with a fried egg, cheese, you know, and some root vegetable, potatoes or something, like, I don't know, anything like that, and you know, you're literally sitting at 300 calories. So you've had a fuller meal, you have hit all of your marks for, you know, your protein, your vegetables, your fruits, and you're actually not going to be filled. Whereas opposed to that snack, you know, you're eating sugars, or, you know, you're drinking sugars, and now that's just going to make you crave more at a later time. So definitely let's normalize eating full meals compared to snacking, because usually the calorie count is way lower and we're not hungry, you know, an hour later, causing us to now intake more calories and carbs. And then the last thing here is grocery shopping discipline. I know for you mothers out there, it may be a little harder to stay out of the snack aisle, but one thing that I feel like has helped me the most is being disciplined in my grocery shopping. I do not buy things that will tempt me to stay off of my journey. So when I go to the grocery store, I have a list. I strictly buy the things that I need. I usually stick around the fruit, vegetable section, gluten-free section, and sometimes I go on the like the frozen aisle. But for the most part, like, I stay within where I need to be, because I know that the moment that I bring that Snickers bar into the household, the moment that I bring that popcorn or anything else that I love into my household, I know that the moment that I get hungry, I'm going to be so ready to go in that cabinet and eat it. So you know what? If it's not there, then I can crave it, but I won't eat it, and I won't be thrown off for my calories, my carb, my intake for the day. So I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed my first YouTube video about rapid weight loss. Again, I started off at about 280. I've gotten down to about 203 pounds, and this is the things that I've done. So I'll definitely come back with you guys at a later time and go into more detail about things, about my diet, what actual diet I follow, but definitely write these down, get a board like this, organize, get a planner, and try some of these things out. Even if you can't make a commitment to all of these things, just choose one and make a commitment to one of those things, and I definitely promise you will see a difference. You will feel a difference. And if you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask me. You can find me on Instagram at The Healthy Virgin, at The Healthy Virgin here on YouTube, at The Kinky Virgin on Instagram, Amber Atkins on Facebook, and on Twitter. Also, if you have any questions for me, anything that you want answered, type them down below. Hit me up directly. I would love to do a video kind of like with just questions that I've gotten from different people. So anything that you guys need, anything that you guys want to see, let me know. Also, lastly, I just want to leave you guys with this. If you would have started when you first had the thought, you'd be further along in your process now. That's kind of one thing that I continuously thought in my head each day. Like, hey, if I would have started when I originally had the thought, I would be a lot further or whatever. So kind of keep that in your head every day that you choose not to. Just know that you're a little further behind in your journey. I love you guys, and thank you so much for supporting me with my journey. Please leave comments below. Love you guys again, and thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day.
I'm what you need, what you need. A daily dose of me gon' help you read. Let me get you this vitamin P.